Let's be real for a second. In a world where AI can cook up a video of anyone saying pretty much anything, how do we know what's real anymore? We're swimming in data, but can we actually trust it? Today, we're going to break down a whole new way of thinking about digital truth, a system designed to make what we see online actually believable again.
No, seriously, think about that for a minute. The last time you saw some wild video or a shocking document pop up on your feed, what was your gut reaction? Did you buy it instantly, or did that little voice in your head go, is this for real? That hesitation, right there, that's the core of a massive problem we're all dealing with. And this isn't just some small annoyance, we're talking about a full-blown crisis. The material we're looking at today says it loud and clear. The industry has hit a breaking point. The tech that creates convincing fakes is getting better at a terrifying pace, and our old ways of sniffing them out just can't keep up.
All right, so let's dig into this digital trust crisis. Because before we can even start talking about a fix, we've got to understand why our old security blankets are failing us so badly.
Think of firewalls and passwords like the walls and guards of a medieval castle. They're pretty good at stopping an army from just busting through the front gate. But what happens if the enemy isn't trying to break in? What if they're just sending fake letters with the king's seal on them? That's the problem. Our defenses were built to keep people out, not to spot forgeries that are already inside the walls.
So this is where a completely new idea comes into the picture: native verification. Instead of building higher and higher walls around our data, what if the data itself could prove it was authentic? Native verification is all about embedding that proof of authenticity directly into the data. It's a huge shift from guarding the perimeter to securing the core.
Okay, so what does this new way of doing things actually look like in practice? Let's get into how it builds a totally new foundation for trust on the internet.
This chart really lays it all out, side by side. Old security, it's trust-based. It all hinges on you trusting some central authority, a company, a server, to keep everything safe. But native verification is proof-based. It doesn't ask you to trust anyone. Nope. Instead, it gives you the cryptographic evidence so you can check it for yourself. It's a total move away from a centralized, password-protected model to one that's all about decentralized, verifiable evidence.
So the big question is, how do you actually create this kind of unchangeable proof? How can you make a digital record that's literally impossible to tamper with? Well, this is where we get into the nuts and bolts of how this new system works. It all comes down to something called a three-tier binding. The best way to picture it is like an unbreakable chain with 3 super strong links, connecting a piece of data all the way back to its real-world origin. So let's break down each one of these links.
Link number 1 is hardware identity. This is wild. It anchors every single operation to the unique physical fingerprint of the hardware it was made on. Yeah, we're talking about linking the data directly to the silicon of the computer chip. This makes it basically impossible for someone to spoof the data's origin and pretend it came from a trusted device when it really didn't.
The second link is system integrity monitoring. Think of this as a hyper-aware security system that has a perfect, crystal-clear photograph of how the software is supposed to look. It's constantly checking the live system against that photo. If even a single pixel is out of place, if one tiny bit of data is changed without permission, it instantly shuts the process down, stopping corrupted data dead in its tracks. And the third and final link in the chain is the operational chain of custody. Every single time the system boots up, it generates a unique, signed ID. From that moment on, every single action is signed and timestamped, which creates a perfect, unchangeable audit trail. And this is what makes historical revisionism technically impossible. You just can't go back and edit the past, period. Okay, so you have this rock-solid, unchangeable proof on your own machine. That's awesome. But how do you prove it to the rest of the world? Especially without, revealing all your private information. This is where things get really clever, by using public blockchains to anchor that proof for everyone to see.
To pull this off, the system uses a protocol called open timestamps. And how it works is pretty genius. It creates a unique digital fingerprint of your data, and listen, it's just the fingerprint, not the data itself, so everything stays private. Then it embeds that fingerprint into the Bitcoin blockchain, which is like a global public record book. This basically acts as a universal digital notary, giving you undeniable proof that your data existed in a specific state, in a specific time, and you don't have to trust any one company to verify it.
Then, to make sure the data itself is persistent and safe, it uses a system called IPFS. Now, on the internet today, a link points to a location. With IPFS, the link is actually created from the content of the file itself.
So what does that mean? It means if you change even a single comma in a document, the link to it changes completely. The old link just breaks. It's a fantastic way to guarantee that what you're looking at is the original, unaltered version.
So when you put all these pieces together, you get to the most important, mind-bending idea in this whole system. It's a huge paradigm shift towards something called a trustless world. Now, I know that word sounds kind of strange, right? So let's unpack what it actually means.
This quote right here just nails it. A trustless system isn't a system you can't trust. It's a system where you don't have to. You get to move past blind faith in some person or some institution, and instead you have cold, hard mathematical proof that you can verify for yourself.
And what you get at the end of the day is this incredibly powerful thing called proof of existence. It is verifiable cryptographic evidence that a piece of data existed exactly as it was at a specific point in time. The entire conversation shifts from, hey, just take my word for it, to, here's the proof, go ahead and check it yourself.
You see, this is so much bigger than just a new piece of security software. We're talking about a fundamental change in how we deal with information online. The goal isn't just to make things secure anymore, it's to make them verifiable.
And that's really the core takeaway here. A whole new architecture for digital truth is being built right now. It's traced through an unbreakable chain of custody, it's anchored to global public ledgers for everyone to see, and it's native to the data itself, with the proof baked right in from the start.
So this all leaves us with a really powerful question for the future, doesn't it? Are we ready to move beyond just building higher walls and start building a new foundation of verifiable truth? Instead, it's a shift from just playing defense to a whole new game of provable integrity. And honestly, it might just be the key to solving our digital trust crisis.